Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And no, I'm not reporting from hell. I'm not in hell, at least not yet. Uh, just sitting out here at the fire pit. We've got a little bit of drizzle and rain and stuff, but it's cooled down. It actually feels good actually having the heat from the fire here, as long as it doesn't blow on me too much and set me on fire. So there's a lot of uncertainty, of course, in times these days. We've been going through the coronavirus for over 3 months. We've been social distancing and or wearing masks, and well, actually, maybe some of us haven't been social distancing. We have been months without sports. I never even dreamed up the idea or concept that we would literally go without a basketball, baseball, hockey season, and in fact that the NFL season would be kind of like where we are. I was reading the French Open. They're planning on doing the French Open, but no fans. The Canadian Football League, they're still trying to figure out a plan for what they're going to do. They're not sure exactly how they're going to have a season because they're looking at the whole bubble concept, where you have one or two cities that they play all the games. We know the NBA is talking about going to Orlando, and, we hear that 500 employees were tested, 260 tested positive, but oh no, that was wrong. It was actually only two. But regardless, the NBA is talking about beginning their season the end of next month, July, and playing the season in a bubble. And they're worried about, players going home and being around the family and coming back, but they're like trying to make a concept where they can socially distance all of their players there and mitigate the amount of people. We have some states where, it's slowed down and actually going down in numbers. We have other states that are going up. So we don't really know what is going to happen 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 2 months from now. We are literally in uncharted territory. Now, baseball is still trying to work out an agreement. They got 6 owners that say we're okay without a season. So we don't have a lot of certainty with any of this. We do know that it's going to be more than likely, if there's a Hall of Fame game, that it'll probably be without fans. We're hearing that, the whole concept of having that many people together, 20,000 people there, the state of Ohio is not ready to do. So I'm curious. Having gone through, I'm not a big basketball fan. I might watch a little bit of basketball when they're doing playoffs. I'll watch a little Final Four and things like that. But, I'm not a die-hard, I must have basketball. Hockey, okay. Baseball, it was fun playing baseball as a kid, hitting the ball and everything else and running around the bases, playing softball in gym class, but I don't sit around watching baseball. I've never been to a professional baseball game in my life, so I'm okay without baseball. Football, on the other hand, whoa. It's kind of amazing because think about a year ago when we sat here. And they were talking about the possibility of not having a season because of a players' strike, possibly, or a lockout. Because we were looking at the NFL and the NFLPA at first looked like it was going to be a rough deal to get done. Nobody was sure. The NFLPA told the players, hold on to your cash, save some money, be prepared to be locked out. But they got it worked out. And as soon as they get it worked out, what the hell happens? The freaking coronavirus. So I want to know, if there's no football season, what would you do to fill in the time? I'm not sure what I would actually do on Sundays because what used to happen to me when I was younger, okay, when I played football in high school and college, your body knew the season was coming. I would start out in the summertime, running extra and everything else, build up my stamina to point towards, August to get ready for football camp. My body would just naturally start gaining more weight, getting ready for that, you know, marathon that is a football season. I'm still gaining weight. I'm still gaining weight getting ready for football season, but I'm not doing the running that I used to. But it was always like a dance getting ready for football. And even right now, it's a miss because normally, right after the draft, we have the physical. So we hear everything about the players that we've drafted. Then we get, OTAs, and you see little interviews of the players. You get a couple of clips, from practice, of things that they're doing. And already we haven't had any of that. And we're just kind of sitting here. And it's like the buildup for the season is not really there. You're sitting here the way it used to be before the new CBA. You had teams that had a new coach, they were able to start practicing sooner. Teams that had Hall of Fame game, they started practicing 2 weeks before the Hall of Fame game. So around the 20th, 22nd of July, you had training camps opening up. You had teams out there working on the field, and I've been to training camp for the Redskins, the Cowboys, to the Eagles, and the Giants. I've been to those camps and the excitement and building up. I've been to the Hall of Fame game. And it's like, I don't know what we do without it. This has been a difficult time here during everything that's been going on. Between the pandemic, between social injustice, between the protests and the rallies, between politics, everybody seems to be, you're either with me or F you. And that's why we can't seem to get anything done. We need to figure out how we can stop dividing up in sides and start figuring out how to work together. I wear a mask. I'll be the first one to say I wear a mask every time I go out in public, go to the store. Now, I don't wear one when I go down the bike trail because, we're walking the dog, we're outside, we're keeping our distance and stuff from people. I'm trying to remember the last time I hugged somebody other than my wife. I'm being cautious. State I live in Virginia, we were one of those early states that had numbers that were going up real quick. The county that I live in, 13,000 cases. And actually in the state, a few weeks back, they implemented wearing masks. Now online, I see people say all the time, oh, you're sheep. You're just scared. You're the big P, okay? I've heard people say that if you wear a mask, it'll cause, oxygen problems. That, it doesn't, I've heard people say that it doesn't protect you, that the microbes are too small, and so on. But what I can say is right now, after being the county that 25% of the cases in the state of Virginia has, where I would see 400, 500, 600, 700, even 1,000 one day, in a day. Now, it's only a couple. It's actually going down. And what I've been saying is, we're wearing masks. We've been social distancing. We've been slower to open. Now, I understand. I want to get back to going out to eat. I want to go hang out on the beach and stuff. But I'm going to ask a question, a real question here. A lot of you guys have guns and carry permits. And so I ask you, why do you carry a gun? When you leave your house and you have your carry permit and you're carrying a gun, Why are you carrying a gun? You're carrying a gun for protection, right? Every time you go out the house and you have your gun, are you expecting to need to use the gun? Or do you have it just in case I need it, I have it? You have it for protection in case something happens. If I'm in a situation where it's my life on the line, I have this gun to protect myself as well as my family, right? That's what that gun is, right? It's protection in case shit happens. I may never need this gun. Hopefully I will never ever need this gun. But if I do, I'm covered because I got my gun. Here's the thing. If you believe in that, then why don't you believe in wearing a mask? It may be that you never come across anybody with corona. It may be that you don't have it and that you're not passing it, right? But you have it to protect yourself just in case you need it. Just in case shit happens. I don't see how you can carry a gun for protection because you fear for your life and you want to make sure that you have protection. That you then won't turn around and say, you know what, that damn corona might be out here too. Let me wear a mask just in case that shit happens. Because what I can tell you, my friends, is this. For all those people that say it don't protect you, I've been in a place that's had 13,000 cases of it. I have been hunkering down. I've been going, not completely. I've been going out doing business. You see me at the grocery store. You see me at Home Depot. You see me at Lowe's. Go to Target, get prescriptions. Go grocery shopping. You see me cooking on my deck. You see me delivering furniture. But I wear a mask. And I keep away from people. And what I can say is, for some reason, that's working. What I can say that I've seen where people don't do that, it doesn't seem to be working quite the same. Now, you can call me a scared sheep. You can say they're taking away my rights. But you know what? One right I'm definitely keeping is the right to live. Protect yourself and everybody else. And until all of us get this, until all of us start doing it, none of us are protected. And if you think there's any chance for us to have football where we can be fans in the stands, I suggest you wear a mask so we can get rid of this shit. So we can stop seeing people dying day after day after day. It's time for us all to wake up, man. All right, y'all. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. And I'm going to talk to y'all in the morning.